Tonight, Women's Refuge and their unlikely ally, marine oil spill training exercise, and undefeated welterweight champion Kairo George. Kia ora and welcome to Central News for Wednesday the 25th of February. I'm Amanda Harper. In today's news, a major marine oil spill exercise will be carried out on and beside the Waikato River at Tuakau next Thursday by the Waikato Regional Council's Marine Oil Spill Response Team. Exercise Sandpit will model the sinking of a barge carrying oil to an industrial site at Mercer. Public access to the River Road Reserve by the Tuakau Bridge on State Highway 22 will be restricted during the exercise, which is due to run from 9:30 a.m. until 5 o'clock that night. People are requested to remain outside the cordoned-off worksite area. However, the boat ramp in the area will remain open to the public, and there will be a designated place for the public to observe the exercise. Regional On-Scene Commander Dave Levat says a major exercise such as Sandpit is held annually by the council. Next month, Morrinsville is hosting a special event for all antique enthusiasts. Scylla Wilson from the organising committee has more.
Everybody's opportunity shop in Morrinsville are holding an Antiques Roadshow on the 28th of March, and we hope that we can get lots of people along with the items to be appraised.
Cost is $1 for the entry and $3 per item to be appraised. There is a limit of 3 items per sitting, and there will also be plenty more to see and do at the Presbyterian Church Hall in Morrinsville. We have more from Scylla and Zoe later on in the show. Tauranga footballer Tyler Boyd is taking his attacking skills abroad after agreeing to a deal to join Portuguese side Vitória de Guimarães at the end of the A-League season. The Wellington Phoenix and All White has signed a 4-year deal with the Primeira Liga outfit, who currently sit 5th in Portugal's top division. Boyd has played 48 games for the Phoenix in 2.5 seasons, but has made just 4 appearances from the bench so far this season, with new recruit Nathan Burns leading the goal-scoring charts. Born in Tauranga, Boyd signed a 3-year contract with the Phoenix in September 2012 before making his debut as a 17-year-old, coming on as a substitute in an A-League match against Sydney FC. Bay of Plenty farmers are doing better in complying with dairy effluent rules. A report to Bay of Plenty Regional Council's Regional Direction and Delivery says a 2014 survey of compliance on dairy farms showed improved compliance levels, and no incidents were considered serious enough to warrant taking a prosecution. Pollution Prevention Team Leader Steve Pickles says the pleasing result meant only 1 dairy prosecution has been taken in the last 3 seasons of monitoring. The top 3 issues were poorly managed ponds, poorly managed effluent irrigation and poorly managed storm water diversion systems, he says. Regional Council staff will be at next month's Effluent Expo at Mystery Creek on March the 17th. And now for our region's weather. Hamilton, tomorrow's outlook will be fine spells, afternoon showers and light winds. High of 27 and low of 12. The rest of the Waikato will be the same with fine spells and possible heavy showers in some parts. Paeroa, your high is 26 and low of 15. Matamata, a high of 24 and low of 14. Te Awamotu, you've got a high of 27, low of 12, and Tokoroa, high of 23 and low of 13. Over in the Bay, Tauranga, fine spells with light winds, high of 24 and low of 16. And for the rest of the Bay of Plenty, fine spells, isolated afternoon evening showers inland with some possibly heavy. Te Puke, high of 23 and low of 16. And for the marine forecast, West Coast, southwest 15 knots developing, high tide is at 5:09. East Coast, variable 10 knots, easterly swell developing, your high tide is at 2:13. Coming up, Women's Refuge teams up with convicted criminals. Welcome back to Central News. I'm Amanda Harper. Waikato Women's Refuge has been helping women and children for many years, and now they have prisoners helping the refuge. Ronnie Albert tells me about this unique relationship.
We developed a relationship about 9 years ago, or 10 years ago now, and we were approached by heads of departments, Ministry of Social Development, Te Puni Kōkiri and Child, Youth and Family, and they were looking at ways of being able to help us in support of the organisation, and offered would we consider working alongside of the working party of the prisons, and we weren't sure about that, but we thought, as a refuge we're unique, we just do things off the hop. We said, yeah, let's give it a go, let's see what we can. I mean, for us it's important to have our men on board in order to break the cycle, otherwise you're just boxing with shadows. You're only dealing with the women and the kids, and we've always seen there needs to be a meeting together in order to look at ways of breaking those patterns. So a relationship was formed with the Te Ao Marama unit of Waikeria, and in those early years, absolutely stunning what we had. The men came out, we did whakawhanaungatanga, and they started working on our office, and I've never seen anything like it. And it's the work that they did. We didn't need to do anything other than give them koha, just for the petrol of the mowers and the things that they used. But actually we went a step further than that. We wanted to cook for them, because they came out with their own sandwiches, which are really yucky. And we chuck those away, we'll cook. And because you're not allowed to give anything to the prisoners, that was it for us to give back to them for all the work that they'd done. I mean, you're talking about 9 to 10 men came, and they just culled out the office and outside, cut down our fence, moved rubbish in a period of about 5 hours. But they also, as our relationship developed, we were able to start sending the men into the homes where they were damaged. So we had a family that we'd moved out away from the area, and they had to go in and repair and move his stuff out, and they went in with seeing blood splattered across the walls, plates left where the kids had just been uplifted in and needed to be moved out because Dad had come in, punches and holes in the walls. Those men for 2 days repaired that, and came back really silent. In fact, you couldn't hear a pin drop, is what the guard said. Many of them recognised some of their background and how they'd left their partners. They'd never spoken about that, so we didn't know, and they wanted to speak with the staff after that, doing that house, and that's probably about the biggest and most positive thing that had happened, and it's been like that all the way through. So the houses that are damaged, where our women need removal out of them, then we'll take a group of our men in, and they'll just do everything that needs to make sure that her bills are brought down. So those damages are usually footed by the woman, because she's the tenant. Even though they're not her damages, they might be the kids, they might be definitely the partners. But it's a way for them to make up, so it makes it less for her. So those are the positive things that we've had by having the men. And then we have them out back into the community, and some of them we've accepted in our own home. So we only have probably about 5 men that we've had at any one time at our home, and they've been with us 6 months. We've had 2 of the men have been there for nearly 2 years, so time for them to go. And it's about them involving themselves back into the community and getting used to the community if they've been there for 7, 8 years.
The fundraiser for the Waikato Women's Refuge is on tomorrow night at Tūranga Waiwai. Email savingrose2015@gmail.com for tickets. Kara George has been a busy boy since we saw him last year. He came in earlier today with his dad to update Central News on what's been happening.
I'm just training hard for my March 21st bout against undefeated North Bow champ.
And what other sort of training have you been doing?
I'm sparring in Auckland. That's where most of my training is now, and I'm training with top level guys every day, so getting a lot of experience in, and on March 21st you're going to see the best of me.
Yeah, and so that's for Chaos on the Coromandel, is that right, Torchy?
Yeah, that's right. A big boxing event put together in a small town. And we've got a couple of big fights on there, so Cairo's won as an undefeated fight for IBO Asian Pacific title. and he's also going to be defending his welterweight New Zealand title. And we've got the Brown Butterbean fighting Tamati Keith, so that should be a good one too. And I'd say that this is probably going to be Brown Butterbean's toughest fight to this day.
Okay, why is that?
Tamati's probably he'd be the biggest guy that Butterbean's ever fought, and he's probably had the most notice.
Yeah. And tell me about Butterbean. He seems like a bit of a character.
He is good. He's caught the fight scene by storm and made a big impact in the time he's been out there, and he's probably the best thing that's ever happened to boxing in New Zealand.
He's really good for boxing in terms of reaching out to a bigger audience.
Yeah.
You know, the way that he talks and carries on, people like that, you know, they want to see drama.
Yeah.
So it's real good.
Yeah. Now his fight is a call-out fight. Now for our viewers that don't know what that is, can you explain?
So what happened was Team George Promotions put an ad out for people who was wanting to step up and fight the Brown Butterbean, and how you enter is you put up a video challenging the Butterbean, and we basically went off who was the most popular, and Tamati Keith was, there was no competition, he was well above everyone in it. He was actually in a 2006 Finding New Zealand's Toughest Man show, so he's a big following maybe from that, but yeah, he was a pretty popular guy.
And what's it like behind the scenes? Because a lot of the drama, you know, like you said, the call out, you put the videos out there. When the cameras are off, the fight's over, what is it like between two boxers that go against each other?
Can be pretty intense in the build-up. When it's over, and there's a winner, and they're both winners really.
Yeah.
But when it's over, the job's done. But in the build-up, it's pretty nerve-wracking. Well, you're going to go and fight someone.
So do you have to stay in a certain kind of character for the build-up?
Yeah, you know, you always got to have your sort of game face on. You don't want to show any emotions that might give your opponent some confidence. So you always got to try and keep a poker face on and look tough all the time.
Look confident.
Yeah.
What's it like when you have to do that steering thing?
Awkward. It's all part of it though, I enjoy it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're fighting Nort the Assassin. Now, where is Nort from?
So who was that again?
You're fighting.
Oh, that's right.
I love it.
Yeah, he's originally from Thailand, Siam, Thailand.
Yeah.
He's based in Christchurch now. I don't really know too much about him. I don't really study guys or watch footage. You know, I just train hard and I can adjust when we get in there.
Yeah. So do you feel you have some advantages over him?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, better looking for a start.
Cool, we'll carry on with more of that after the break. We're here with Cairo George and his dad and manager, Torchy George. Now, Cairo, is this the biggest fight of your career?
Yeah, by far my toughest fight. It's the first time I come across another undefeated fighter, and he's the highest ranked opponent that I've ever come across as well.
So after this fight, one of you will be defeated?
Yeah, he will be.
He will be?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's his name again?
Nort.
Nort?
Yeah.
Nort the Assassin or something like that?
Something like that, I can't remember.
Now, Torchy, you're the manager and father of Cairo. What's it like balancing both? What's it like to be Cairo's dad?
Hard work. And I don't know what it's like not to be, but yeah, it's good.
My dad takes care of a lot of the business side of things outside of the ring, so that, you know, I don't have to deal with that, you know, so I'm able to take care of business inside of the ring. And he deals with all the people that I interview and stuff with. You're the only person I deal with directly because we're friends,
yeah.
But most people deal with him. Yeah, most people deal with my dad, and so it's really good having him.
Yeah, and also having that support as well. I mean, whānau
yeah, of course,
is everything really. Yeah. Now also, what is it like being a boxing manager?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a good business to be in.
Get to meet a lot of people?
Yeah, you do. You do. And from all walks of life.
Yeah. And you also get to meet a lot of people, Cairo, including celebrities and sports stars.
Yep.
Do you still get a bit starstruck, or do you kind of consider yourself one of them?
I don't want to say I consider myself one of them, but in the training camp that I'm a part of, there's a lot of superstars in there. You know, we've got Monty Beetham, a guy, Israel Adesanya, who's a top level fighter, and just everybody in general. You know, we've got a lot of upcoming undefeated pros and champions in their own right, Sam Rapira as well. So I'm seeing those sort of guys every day, training and sparring with them, and it's just bringing my level to another level again. So.
Yeah. And do you hang out with them as well? Like, do they come to your house?
They don't come to my house, but we hang out, we go for lunch and do things together. We don't just beat each other up and then send you on your way. We beat each other up and then go for lunch or something. It's quite funny.
Now, we are here mainly to talk about Chaos on the Coromandel. When is that again, and what can people expect on the night?
21st of March, and it's at the Team Civic Centre, and it's going to be the place to be.
And are tickets still available?
There's still tickets available, and if you go on the Team George Facebook page, all the information is on there.
So that's Team George Promotions on Facebook.
Okay.
Yep. And so in my fight, Nort's putting his undefeated record on the line, and I'm putting mine on the line, and man, it's going to be an explosion.
Yeah.
And there's going to be an exciting undercard too. Yeah, so there's, we'll have about 10 corporate fights. Yep. Most of them first timers.
Yep.
And that's going to be exciting too.
Are there any particular fighters that you're interested to see get in the ring?
There's probably a couple of interesting ones there, and they're people that have had corporate fights and they're undefeated too. And I put two of them together.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good entertaining night.
Excellent. All right. And also there is going to be a live stream of the night, is that right? How can people get onto that?
Yeah, well, the best place to go to for that as well is on the Team George Facebook page, and you'll see the link on there.
Yeah, so they just sign up, pay a bit of money, and then they can just watch it from home.
Yeah, it's only $12 US, and you get the whole event live, basically ringside seats, because the camera's going to be right there up close, so it's a good way to watch it.
Chaos on the Coromandel kicks off March the 21st at the Thames Civic Centre. Have a good fight, Cairo. A team of ladies from various charities in Morrinsville have gathered together to organise an antiques and collectibles roadshow for March the 28th. Find out what you can expect.
Everybody's Opportunity Shop in Morrinsville are holding an Antiques Roadshow on the 28th of March, and we hope that we can get lots of people along with the items to be appraised.
Okay, and what's your involvement with this, Zoe?
Well, while everybody's having their articles appraised, there'll be a lovely selection of cream tea, biscuits and maybe filled rolls, tea, coffee and juice, something for the kids possibly. People can come and sit down after they've had their articles appraised and enjoy that, hopefully.
There are going to be other displays also as well while people are waiting to have their items appraised. Can you tell me a little bit about what people can expect?
Yes, we've got all our member organisations putting on displays. There's the Girl Guides, the Scouts, the IHC, Ezekiel Trust, Presbyterian Church and Kiwanis all going to have displays. We've also got various collectors groups. They bottle collectors, teddy bear collectors, I think. So there'll be things to watch and do while you're waiting to actually have your items appraised.
Sounds really interesting. Now, you've mentioned, Sylla's mentioned all the charities involved. Now, that also means that you ladies are volunteering your time to come together as a committee to organise this. Why do you do that?
Well, it's just the whole idea of it is amazing. It's good for every single person who comes into this store. It's good for the customers because they get really good things for really good prices. It's really amazing for the people who work there because we get a social life, we get to meet other nice people, we know we're doing something good for the community, and it's great for recycling and all these things. It's just it really is such a useful and amazing thing to be part of. And then this roadshow is just like an extension of that, and we all get really excited about the things that come in, and we don't always know what they are. So to have the opportunity to even take some of the things that we've got in the shop now and get somebody to appraise them, because then you can get the best price for things and not let beautiful items slip through your fingers.
Absolutely. Now, the money raised is going towards a good cause, but would you say it's also to raise awareness as well about the charities you've mentioned?
I believe so. I think it's a good branding exercise. Although we've been going for over 30 years, Everybody's Shop, a lot of people still don't know that we exist. There's always new people in town, and so we see it as an opportunity to raise awareness and perhaps increase our volunteer base, increase the goods that come into the shop. We're very blessed with what quality of the goods and things we do have, but yes, it's a chance for a branding exercise as well.
And what's been the general response from people in the community when you tell them about what's going to be happening next month?
Very good, very good. And they're all saying, oh, we're into that, we'll help. Yeah, we'll help you. What do you need?
Yeah. So just lastly, to finish it off, what day is it on and where is it?
It's the 28th of March between 10 and 4 in the Knox Presbyterian Church Hall in Morrinsville. That's 49 Canada Street in Morrinsville.
Thank you, ladies. I'm looking forward myself to taking along some of my antiques to be valued. That is all from me tonight. If you like what you see, why not like us on Facebook? Search centralnews.tv. Or if you think you may have a story lead for me or have feedback about the show, email news@tvcentral.co.nz. We would love to hear from you. I'll be back tomorrow night with more stories from the Waikato and the Bay of Plenty. I'm Amanda Harper. Have a good night. Pō Marie.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.